Hi, everybody, and welcome to Baseball Discourse. I am Dan Lovallo, and it has been a long time since I've done a Baseball Discourse episode. I hope to be doing more of them in the second half of the season now that we have played the All-Star game. And I'm not the biggest fan of the All-Star game the way I used to be because obviously the format has changed as far as the players going in and out after an inning or two, pitchers being used just an inning, maybe 2 innings, although I don't think any pitchers were used for 2 innings in the game on Tuesday night. But relatively speaking, it was a very good All-Star game with the American League winning 5-3. Gosh, the American League has now won 10 of the last 11 All-Star games, and isn't that something? I go back a ways to the point where, well, I remember the days when the American League was always getting killed by the National League. I think the nadir came. The nadir came when the American League lost in 1970 to the National League in 12 innings when Pete Rose bowled Ray Fosse over and the National League won the game 5-4. I mean, that's when they played for keeps. You get the idea. They really don't play for keeps anymore. And so that's why I don't know, the All-Star game to me has lost its luster, although this one was a very good game, and it was done in a snappy 2 hours and 28 minutes. You saw Paul Skeens do what he had to do. You saw Juan Soto get a big hit. Duran gets the huge 2-run homer to snap the 3-3 tie, and the American League comes through with a 5-3 victory. But as I said, I remember the days when the National League was so dominant that you got upset if you were an American League fan, and I was. You got upset when you saw that the National League won in extra innings, and not only that, they won when Pete Rose bowls Ray Fosse over, and so the National League wins the All-Star game 5-4. And it really, I think, curtailed Fosse's career in so many ways because Fosse was going gangbusters. He and Thurman Munson were the top catchers in the American League in 1970, and Fosse, I think, was going to perhaps surpass Munson until he got seriously hurt in that collision at home plate. So, things have changed some as far as baseball is concerned when it comes to the All-Star game. I've come out in my newsletter making some recommendations of what should be done, and I would suggest you subscribe to the newsletter. Just go to sportscasterdan.com, sportscasterdan.com, or danlovallo.com, danlovallo.com, in order to subscribe to the newsletter. I don't spam you. I send the newsletter out once a week, and I certainly would welcome you subscribing to the newsletter. And paid subscribers, too. I mean, I really would welcome that. Paid subscribers, it really helps me because of the time and effort I do put into the newsletter. And some of you have subscribed and taken out a paid subscription, and I really appreciate that. But again, a wild All-Star game. I mean, not along the lines of 1970, but I think an interesting All-Star game. And as I said, they need to bring some sizzle back to the All-Star game, and maybe they moved in the right direction. I hope to come out with more episodes of Baseball Discourse, and in fact, I plan on giving you a very interesting interview that I did with the last surviving Hispanic member of baseball's historic Negro Leagues. I will have that episode for you soon on the channel. But again, thanks subscribing to my YouTube channel, and please consider subscribing to my newsletter. Again, you can go to sportscasterdan.com. And thanks for your support.